till Bingolotto. Jag har skaffat mig en ny bil. Jag kanske läser i tidningarna. Det gäller att ha en sån här för säkerhets skull idag.
Hej och välkomna tillbaks till Sweden Today. Hello and welcome back to Sweden Today, a television program you now can see in the United States, Canada, Hong Kong and Europe. 100 million people are now able to see our show. We also know that many do, and we would like to thank all of you that write us and tell us your ideas about the program. Keep on watching. Maybe your idea will be brought up in our next show. In this program, we'll talk about leisure time, about hobbies, sports, fishing and hunting. We'll show you some interesting stories, and we're just about to meet some really interesting people. We'll also feature an old Swedish song, here performed by Christer Sanktill, accompanied by Lars Rose. But first, the news.
Supermakternas intresse för Norden och därmed också för Sverige ökar. Vi berörs alltså idag på ett helt annat sätt än tidigare utav motsättningarna mellan stormaktsblocken.
Lennart Ljung, the Swedish commander-in-chief, has stated in a report that there is proof of foreign U-boat operations within Swedish territorial waters. The report gives details of 5 intrusions during the third quarter of the year, which can only be described as foreign underwater activity. It'll soon be time for the annual Nobel Prize ceremony, an expression of esteem and appreciation for effort and discovery in different areas. The prize was established by the Swede Alfred Nobel, inventor of dynamite. This year, the value of the prizes is 1.8 million Swedish crowns. The prizes will be presented on the 10th of December by His Majesty King Carl Gustaf. The prize for medicine has been awarded to the American researchers Michael Brown, 44, and Joseph Goldstein, 45, both from Dallas. The prize for physics goes to Klaus von Klitzing, 42, from Stuttgart, West Germany. The chemistry prize goes to 2 American professors, 68-year-old Herbert A. Hauptman of New York and 67-year-old Jerome Carl of Washington. The economics prize has been awarded to Professor Franco Modigliani, 67, of Massachusetts Institute of Technology, USA. The prize for literature goes to Claude Simon, 73, from Paris, France. The Peace Prize goes to the organization IPPNW, International Physicians for the Prevention of Nuclear War, which consists of 145,000 doctors from all over the world. The American Bernard Lohn and the Russian Yevgeny Shatsov have been invited to collect the prize, which will be presented in Oslo, capital of Norway. There was a lot of excitement in New York City recently when the King of Sweden, Carl Gustaf, attended the opening ceremony of the new Arafors glassworks store. 800 new jobs have been created due to the discontinuation of cooperation between the American company Fairchild and Saab. In the future, Saab alone will be responsible for the manufacture of the SF-340 aircraft. Up to now, 79 of the new aircraft have been sold. A profit will only be shown after the sale of 200 SF-340s. The Swedish company Inter Innovation has won this year's export prize, which is presented by the newspaper Dagens Industri together with Sparbanken and the company association. Leif Lindblad, the founder of the company, received the prize from His Majesty King Carl Gustaf.
Swedish textile is very important for the export. Oskar Jakobsson, tailoring exclusive menswear, is one of the companies that has been awarded the Swedish Export Prize this year. Mr. Börje Bengtsson, president and owner of the company, you visited Stockholm the other day. Please tell us why.
Well, I got this very nice prize from His Majesty King Carl Gustaf XVI of Sweden.
I see a very beautiful piece of crystal.
Yes, indeed it is.
I know that you are exporting to the whole of Europe. What about America?
Well, because of the little bit stronger American dollar, we are going to try on the American East Coast, especially New York.
Princess Desiree has opened a unique exhibition of Chinese handicraft. The exhibition is the largest of its kind ever arranged in Sweden and will be on show in Borås until November. Sweden has just received its biggest defense order ever. FFV in Eskilstuna will supply the American Defense Department with the AT-4 weapon. The order was confirmed recently in connection with the American Chief of Staff's visit to Sweden. The order for 362,000 AT-4s will be delivered before the year 1990.
Sweden's importance as an industrial nation is already acknowledged. In many different areas have Swedish companies made themselves a worldwide reputation. In this interview have our financial reporter Ulf Wickbom met with one of the most distinguished persons in the Swedish industrial life, the president of Electrolux, Hans Werthen.
Hans Werthen, Swedish industrialist and mountain climber, reached the summit of Matterhorn twice, but failed to climb Mont Blanc. Does this mean that you still have some more summits to conquer?
Oh yes, that is typical of mountain climbing. As soon as you've made one thing, you always look at the next.
Mm. And are these plans concerned with aspirations for new altitudes in the United States?
I hope that we can continue. We do that in a small scale, or in a bigger scale when we can afford it.
Mm. Do you have any large plans for the United States, or is it a gradual expansion that you're talking about?
It is a gradual. We have about 1/3 of the vacuum cleaner market, about 15% of the gas cookers through Tappan. We are one of the few remaining American national producers of microwave ovens. We have about half the market of special refrigerators for trailers.
Mm. And what do you say about your American competitors?
Well, America always have very hard competition, which is strenuous but also quite encouraging.
Mm. And what is your specific edge on this market?
Well, first of all, we try, or we do, use American people in the American companies. We don't try to be European or Swedish in America. We try to be American.
Mm. Is this the only secret behind your success?
Well, we have a rather deep technical interest, which is a bit Swedish, and we encourage investments in manufacturing and in development. And perhaps we are rather good at taking quick decisions if necessary.
Mm.
And they know that. If people know that, they telephone and they get more initiative if they know that it will not be ground down after months and months, you know.
Mm.
But they get quick and positive answers.
Mm.
So we do get along extremely well with our American people.
Mm. This was Electrolux, but Hans, you're also chairman of the board of Ericsson, the telephone company, who has been not so very successful with computers in the United States.
Yes, I would say that the lack of success in that market we share with a lot of European companies and a lot of American companies. There has been overproduction and the market has become saturated. But that is a rather small part of the Ericsson business, you know.
Frankly, how much money have you actually lost?
Or on that alone, perhaps. Shall we put it at $40–50 million? That's about all in this field.
Mm-hmm. Has this discouraged you from expanding further in the United States?
No, not at all, because when people speak about pain, they forget the successes, and what is the real thing is the digital telephone systems that are possible to sell in America and produce partly in America. We are one of the few companies that really have a functioning digital system.
Sweden is one of the largest markets in the world for weaving. To keep up the tradition, special loom days are arranged every year in Glimåkra.
Glimåkra Loom Factory Incorporated is famous all over the world for its manufacturing and export of looms. The interest in weaving has always been great in Sweden, and every year Glimåkra Loom Factory arranges special loom days. Over 10,000 weavers and craftsmen participated in the event, which was held in October this year. Proficient weavers and textile artists exhibited their products. They also demonstrated the different techniques of weaving. During the 3 loom days, a crafts exhibition and several lectures were also given.
To create, as an artist, craftsman or home weaver. Weaving, a fun way to express your need of creativity. Glimåkra looms are famous for reliability, quality and design. A loom for every weaving need, for every home. Write us for orders and information. Or call toll-free 1-800-843-9276. 1-800-THE-YARN.
Big sound doesn't need big speakers. The Top Sound Challenger, an exciting breakthrough in car stereo design. Easy to install. No need to alter or damage the interior. The cables are hidden under the door trimming. Fits any vehicle. Cars, pickups, vans, trucks. Smart Swedish craftsmanship and design with patent pending. Comes in 6 different colors. The Top Sound Challenger puts the sound where it ought to be, over your head, not under your heels. Not everybody likes the same kind of music. Comes with 2 clever headphone outlets, one that cuts the sound from the speakers. Now, buy your Top Sound Challenger with headphone outlets at the special offer price of only $199. Call toll-free within the United States, 1-800-228-1685. Outside the USA and in Florida, dial 305-689-5255.
What does the Swede do on his leisure time? Of course, we have a whole lot of different things to choose between. One of them is the traditional handcraftmanship. We are going to see some unusual samples of old handcraftmanship, which is still carried on in many Swedish homes.
Old handicrafts are carried out all over Sweden. Here we are at an old farm, where it's full steam ahead for the week's baking. First, the dough is prepared in a large dish, because there are many mouths to feed. The open fire has already warmed the oven, and with the help of a long spade, the loaf is placed in the oven for baking. And very soon, it's ready. Good to look at, and even better to eat. Basket making is another pastime. First, the preparation of the base by treating the twigs and branches, and then the work begins. Here we see a basket being made. 92-year-old Axel Standar from Hedared has been making baskets for 25 years. Here is a basket of pine.
Leisure time can be spent in many different ways. The number of hobbies are endless. Let us take a look at some of the more unusual ones.
The moose is called king of the forest in Sweden, but it is also responsible for a lot of damage. Therefore, every October there is a moose hunt throughout Sweden. The hunting teams, usually about 20 strong, gather early in the morning to get to know each other and go through plans for the day's hunting. The hunters go to their posts and wait. And then suddenly the moose come running out and fall from the shots. Then it's time to collect the moose. There is a lot of discussion and the usual stories about the one that got away.
lite annorlunda, men det var inte långt ifrån.
Then loading and a drive to the butcher's. The hunting team share the meat from the day's shooting. In this way, many kings of the forest make their last journey.
Sweden's highest mountain, Kebnekaise, is only 6,900 feet above sea level. One can reach the top without any technical climbing abilities. With about 10 hours, one can walk from the bottom to the top and back. But that is not to say that there are no climbers of good class in Sweden. Many Swedish climbers learn their ABCs at just such places as Beesberg's Klack, a crag in southern Dalarna. And the climbers you see were a part of a Swedish expedition which put 4 men on the top of Gasherbaum 2 this past summer. Climbing here at Beesberg's Klack must be quite different than climbing in the Himalayas. Did you do any of this sort of rock climbing on Gasherbaum 2 this summer?
Well, approximately 2 feet.
Only 2 feet?
None of this climbing at all, really.
What are the differences?
Everything. It's mainly snow and ice climbing in the Himalayas, and this is rock.
Peter, you and Per-Olof reached the top. How did it feel?
Well, when I reached the top, I was very tired, and I was thinking about the way coming down, because it's always more difficult to descend than to ascend.
And you, Per-Olof, what was the view like?
Well, it was terrific. A really beautiful view from the summit.
Where will your next expedition take you?
There is a Swedish Mount Everest expedition in the pre-monsoon, that is the spring season of 1987. We have a permission to climb both from China and from Nepal. We would like to go from the North Chinese side.
From a pine forest in Hyssna to a table lamp in Hong Kong. This is a good example of how Swedish wood of highest quality can become a worldwide product. Like this lamp. This is the story of the lumber in Hyssna.
From a pine forest in Hyssna to a table lamp in Hong Kong. The story of lumber in Melltorp is one of the many examples of how Swedish wood in a number of small industries finds its way to the rest of the world. Melltorp Sawmill in Hyssna is a small family-owned company. Swedish wood of highest quality is carefully sorted and sawed here. Another sawmill, Hyssna Textilbobine, which is located just a few kilometers away from Melltorp Sawmill, receives the boards. Here they're split and cut to correct production sizes before they're sent away to the wood turning company. About 40% of the products manufactured at Hyssna Textilbobine are shipped out to Solbacken's Turnery, also in Hyssna. It is here the small wood pieces from the sawmill in Melltorp eventually arrive. After careful drying, the pieces are turned and checked. They are mounted together along with the other parts, and finally they become a lamp. After packaging, most lamps at Solbacken's Turnery are exported to Europe, but they also sell in the Middle East and the Far East. From a pine forest in Hyssna to a table lamp in Hong Kong.
You like our Swedish lamp?
He hasn't shaved since 1907. He is the oldest record singer in the world. He has been married to his wife for 77 years. He was born in 1885. He has lived under 4 kings and 39 governments. Who is he? That's right. Gustav Stålfarfar, or Super Grandpa Håkansson. He has had his 100th birthday, and we went to Garntofta, Skåne, to congratulate him.
Vill vi gratulera på 100-årsdagen. Hur känns det att vara 100 då?
Ja, jag har inte känt efter riktigt så jag kan inte säga hur. Men tiden går ju.
Du kan ju berätta lite om din cykelfärd från norra Sverige till södra Sverige.
Ja, jag cyklade dit först.
Det var då du fick
upp
namnet...
Haparanda.
Haparanda till?
Ja, till Ystad.
Det var då du fick namnet Stålfarfar, stämmer det?
Ja, det kan hända. Kommer inte ihåg när. Det kom liksom sig själv.
Ja, och du är nöjd med det?
Ja. Ja, stålet är ju en härlig text. Det är både starkt och mjukt och vilket som, så att det är bra. Du gamla, du fria, du fjällhöga nord, du tysta, du glädjerika sköna. Jag hälsar ditt vänaste land upp på jord. Din sol, din himmel, dina ängder gröna. Din sol, din himmel, dina ängder gröna.
Sweden is a leading tennis nation. Let us see how we reached this position. Christer Järpe, Director of Development in the Swedish Tennis Association, introduces tennis the Swedish way.
When you talk about tennis, Sweden and the Swedish wonder is always mentioned. Why?
I think that Sweden has a very strong and well-organized education system for both the tennis instructors and the tennis players.
Isn't it Björn Borgren who has created the Swedish tennis?
Yes, people think so, but I think even Mats Wilander and Anders Järv, for example, has a very great importance for the Swedish tennis. But I think, as I mentioned before, that the system, the simplicity of the system is very important.
This simplicity you talk about in learning tennis the Swedish way is mentioned in one of your Swedish books. How has that book been received abroad?
At first, the name of the book, Tennis the Swedish Way, is written by Ross Jones and Bo Strandberg. All coaches and players who had read this book are very impressed. For example, Bill Gilmore, the president of the Tennis Professional Association of Australia, say that this book is one of the finest coaching books available.
You mean that we in Sweden teach tennis in a new way?
Yes, in some way I think, but in Sweden we have established a single basic and technical and methodical line which is very simple. I think the simplicity of the technique and the learning in Sweden is very important.
And by that you mean it's the big secret?
Yes, perhaps. You can recognize the simple stroke pattern in, for example, these ground strokes, and you can even see it in volleys. So if you start with the forehand, I can show you. You begin with the ready position and the backswing to the start position. And here from you have 3 points. You start from the low and you finish to the high point. And the stroke in the book is divided into 3 different points. You have the start position, you have the hit position, and you have the follow-through. That's the simplicity of the stroke. Start position, hit position, and follow-through. The backhand is the same thing. You have the ready position and the backswing to the start position. From start position, you have the hit position and then the follow-through. You start from low point and you finish to a high point. You have 3 points. Start position, hit position, and follow-through. It's the same stroke pattern on forehand and backhand. Tennis the Swedish way has become a recognized concept in the world of tennis. The book Tennis the Swedish Way tells you how and why.
This book has been published in English, Swedish, German, French, and Japanese, and it can be yours too. Just write the names of 3 different Swedish tennis players and send it to us in Borås. The address is going to be shown at the end of this program. The first 50 correct answers get the book, Tennis the Swedish Way.
Christer St. Hill will here sing an old Swedish song, accompanied by Lars Rose.
This first song I'm going to sing is by Gustav Nordqvist. It's named Till Havs, which means to sea, or sea as the river or the water, or at sea. It's all about the freedom one can feel when one is at the sea.
Nu blåser havets friska vind ifrån sydväst och smekar ljuvligt sjömans kind. alla vindar väst, till havs, till storm, du kärva jakt, till havs, till storm, var man på vakt, till havs. Och ändlös ledar livet fritt, ej trives tvång, när havet sjunger grät och vitt sin höga frihetssång. Till havs, till storms, du kärva jakt, till havs, till storms, var man på vakt, till havs. Sväll härligt sköna segelsväl i vindens döst, flyger fram med fröjd mot vågens fjäll i stundens högsta lust. Till havs, till storms, du kärva jakt, till havs, till storms, var man på vakt, till havs.
I hope you enjoyed our program, and we still love to receive your letters, so please keep on writing. Each of you that write us and tell us what you think about the program will receive one of these lovely safety matches boxes with a beautiful traditional dollar horse. Our address is Sweden Today, 50006, Borås, Sweden. In December, Sweden Today will bring you Swedish traditions and will show you how we celebrate Christmas here in Sweden. Santa Claus, or as it's called here in Sweden, jultomten, lives in Dalarna. We'll take you on a trip to Dalarna to Santa World. Be sure to watch us then. Financial News Network on the 1st of December at 1 p.m. Satellite Program Network, December 2nd at 10:30 p.m. and December 4th at 4 p.m. Modern Satellite Network, December 3rd and 5th at 4:30 p.m. And finally on Manhattan Cable Television, December 1st at 1 p.m., December 7th at 12:30 p.m.